punches from a stable stance, and you can use your stance to generate power, get stability. But in the dojo, you're in your stance, you're well rooted, you're grounded, nice hardwood floors or whatever surface you're on. But in a self-defense scenario, you're not going to be in a nice, safe place. You're not necessarily always going to be on your feet where you can have your stance and your feet under you to give you good power, right? So you're standing here, right? You've got that power and stability. You can use your hips and stuff. What if you've been knocked on the ground? Okay? So what we're going to do next is we're going to work from a kneeling position where we're still trying to get punches off. We've fallen, we've tripped, we're trying to get back up, they've stormed in. How do we punch from here? Okay? Your target most likely is going to be the groin. They're coming in, and you're going to try and move until you get them, and you're going to try and use your legs to get a little bit of hip action, right? To punch in the groin, right? So that's what we're going to do first. From kneeling position, and imagine the person's groin there, and I want you to punch at the groin, all right? Yeah? So the question was, how do I get that hip action? All right? Right. You're on your knees. You want to imagine that you're thrusting, moving like this to get that hip action. Okay? So from that hip, right? I'm moving those hips like that to get the power. Right? It's not going to be as strong as up here, right? Oh, abs, right? Of course not. But it's the same idea. Right? So for down here, right, you're lunging as much as you can. Right? Okay? Make sense? Worse if you're on your back. Right? Here, you've got almost nothing. Okay? But sometimes you can fight to keep the person from grabbing you and wrapping up. If they're on top of you in a guard and stuff, we'll deal with that later. Okay? But for now, we're imagining we're trying to get some punches off here. The same idea is to get some hip into it. You can use your foot and push that hip to get something off. But also, you can scooch away from the person. So say they're coming in, crouching down, you can punch and try and move away. You're getting some power, a little bit, with that, and then you're also trying to scooch away and get to a position where you can get up. So what we'll do is, so get on, step over me, right? So the idea here is the person coming in close and you're hitting the groin, all right? So what I'm going to try to do is, and you keep coming. Like that. All right? Make sense?
Yep.
So again, you're trying to get those strikes to keep them off of you. All right, another scenario where it's not optimal for punching is you're in a seated position. Maybe you're on a subway, on a bus, your train, airplane, and there's a confrontation, something's happening. You're doing everything you can to calm the person down, and it comes to blows. Well, imagine this is the aisle, the person is here. In order to get a good technique off, you still want to try and use your hips. Well, what you need to be doing is as you're trying to de-escalate, you're talking, your hands are here, you want to be slowly working those feet underneath you. Okay? So that way you've got something underneath. So if you have to, you can up and punch. Right? You can get yourself, if you're seated like this, you can't get yourself up very quickly. Right? Now in some situations, the chairs are fixed, so you can grab, pull, but if you're grabbing in this, what's open?
Your head.
My head. Right? So you want to try and keep those hands up. You're talking, but as you're doing that, and you have a sense this is going to come to an account, I might need to do a preemptive strike to take care of this situation, get those feet working underneath you. If they're standing there, what's probably the easiest first target?
Groin.
Groin, right? So you can get that bang, bang as you come up. The head's probably bending over. You've got the strikes coming up. Okay? And then from there, you got a knee in here, you're pushing, you're trying to figure out where can I get somewhere else. But in a close quarter, in a bus situation, that's tough situation. Even worse is if you're on the inside. The wall window is here. You've got chairs in front of you. You've got someone here. Right? Now what? Right? This person either is involved with it, in which case you've got elbows that you can start working here, or they're an innocent bystander. And they're just caught in the middle of this person who's either leaning over this way, causing trouble, or is in the aisle. If they're leaning over this way, same idea. You want to be working those heels back, feet underneath you. This side you might not be able to, but get as back as far as you can so that you can get a good push and up, strike, punch, something. Right? But think about how to get from this very weak position for punching to getting those feet underneath so you can then get more power into your strikes by using your legs. Right? So the principles are pretty much the same. Use your legs and hips as much as you can in the compromised position.